Hello and welcome to this new edition of News Today. Without delay, let's dive straight into today's headlines. UNESCO's Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Regional Register includes Indian literary works. China has become India's top trading partner in the fiscal year 2024. India and Iran signed long-term bilateral contract for operation of terminal at Chabahar Port. First human recipient of a genetically modified pig kidney transplant has died. Venezuela may become the first nation to lose all its glaciers. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has released the World Wildlife Crime Report 2024. Starting with the first news, UNESCO's Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Regional Register includes Indian literary works. Manuscript of three Indian literary works, namely Ramcharitramanas, Panchtantra and Sahardaloka Lokana, have been included in Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Regional Register along with 17 other works from the region. The decision was taken at the 10th meeting of the Memory of the World Committee for Asia and the Pacific held at Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Now let's begin by introducing these literary masterpieces. First we have the Ramcharitramanas, an epic poem written in the 16th century by the renowned poet Goswami Tulsidas. Composed in the Avdi language, this work consists of 7 canto and is poetic retelling of the events of the Ramayana, one of the two major Sanskrit epics of the ancient India. Next we have the Panchtantra, a collection of fables written in Sanskrit by Pandit Vishnu Sharma, considered one of the oldest surviving collections of Indian fables. The Panchtantra is divided into 5 parts and is known for its unique story within a story structure. The third literary work included in the register is the Sahardaloka Lokana, a text on Indian poetics written in Sanskrit by Acharya Anandavardhan. This text holds significant importance as the renowned philosopher Abhinavagupta wrote a commentary on it. These literary gems have earned a well-deserved place in UNESCO's Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Regional Register, a testament to their enduring cultural and historical significance. Now let's delve into the Memory of the World program itself. Launched in 1992, this UNESCO initiative comprises 3 registers: international, regional and national. The International Register already includes several Indian entries such as the Tamil Medical Manuscript Collection, Shaiva Manuscripts and the Rig Veda. The primary aim of the Memory of the World program is to preserve the world's documentary heritage, enable universal access to this heritage, and enhance public awareness about the importance of such documents. By including these Indian literary works in the Asia-Pacific Regional Register, UNESCO has not only recognized their cultural and historical value, but also taken a step towards ensuring their preservation for future generations. As we celebrate this achievement, we must also acknowledge the ongoing efforts to safeguard our literary and cultural heritage, which serves as a bridge between the past and the present, connecting us to our roots and shaping our collective identity.
Moving on to our next news. China has become India's top trading partner in the fiscal year 2024. According to the think tank Global Trade Research Initiative or GTRI, India's bilateral trade with China has reached at $118.4 billion in the fiscal year 2024. Moreover, China has surpassed the United States, which was India's top trading partner during fiscal year 22 and fiscal year 23. The GTRI's report also highlighted that between fiscal year 19 and fiscal year 24, India's exports to China witnessed a marginal decline in exports by 0.6%, while imports from China has surged by 44.7%. However, this rising import dependence on China raises several concerns for India. From a national security perspective, trade can be used as a tool by China to exert political pressure on India or advance its strategic interest. This situation complicates efforts to effectively address border disputes and heightens vulnerabilities to cyber warfare, given India's reliance on Chinese technology and equipment in critical sectors such as telecom. China's dominance in India's electronics sector imports, which stands at approximately 43.9%, raises questions about India's strategic autonomy. This dependence constrains India's ability to counter Chinese influence in its neighborhood, particularly in regions like South Asia and the Indian Ocean. Furthermore, India's pharmaceutical sector is highly dependent on China for active pharmaceutical ingredients, creating supply chain vulnerabilities. This reliance not only poses risks to India's healthcare system, but also stifles the growth of domestic industries which struggle to compete with low-cost imports from China. In response to these challenges, the Indian government has taken several initiatives to reduce its dependency on China. The Make in India initiative and production-linked incentive schemes aim to bolster domestic manufacturing capacities in critical sectors such as medical devices and electronic components. Additionally, the promotion of bulk drug parks seeks to reduce India's import dependency for APIs, and lastly, the imposition of anti-dumping duties. In conclusion, while China's emergence as India's top trading partner in fiscal year 2024 highlights the growing economic ties between the two nations, it also underscores the need for India to address its import dependencies and vulnerabilities strategically.
Moving on to the next news. India and Iran signed long-term bilateral contract for operation of terminal at Chabahar Port. Under the agreement, a 10-year contract has been inked for the development of the Shahid Beheshti Port Terminal at Chabahar Port. This move is set to enhance regional connectivity and facilitate trade and investment opportunities between the three nations, India, Iran and Afghanistan. This will mark Chabahar as one of the overseas ports managed by India, along with Sitwe Port in Myanmar. Let's delve into a detailed discussion about the Chabahar Port. Chabahar Port, located in the Sistan and Balochistan province on the Makaran coast in southeastern Iran, holds immense significance. Situated on the Gulf of Oman and the outside of the Strait of Hormuz, it is Iran's only deep-sea port with direct ocean access. The port project comprises two terminals, Shahid Beheshti and Shahid Kalantari. Chabahar Port is part of the proposed international north-south transport corridor. This ambitious 7,200 km long multi-mode transport project aims to link the Indian Ocean and Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea via Iran and onward to Northern Europe via St. Petersburg in Russia. The development of Chabahar Port is a strategic move for India. It not only serves as a counterbalance to Pakistan's Gwadar Port and China's Belt and Road Initiative, but also provides access to Afghanistan and Central Asia. Moreover, its proximity to India's west coast, with Kandla Port in Gujarat being only 550 nautical miles away, offers a shorter route, unlocking India's trade potential with European countries. However, the execution of the Chabahar project faces challenges. The US sanctions on Iran have impacted equipment suppliers and partners involved in the project's completion. Additionally, China's proposed involvement in Chabahar's duty-free zone hampers India's interest in the region. Despite these obstacles, the long-term bilateral contract between India and Iran marks a significant stride in strengthening regional cooperation and fostering economic growth through enhanced connectivity and trade facilitation. Moving ahead in the news. First human recipient of a genetically modified pig kidney transplant has died. Let us begin with the meaning of xenotransplantation. Xenotransplantation is any procedure that involves transplantation, implantation or infusion of live non-human animal cells, tissues or organs into a human recipient. The need for such procedures arose due to the gap between the number of transplantations needed by patients and the availability of donor organs. However, the recent news of the first human recipient of a genetically modified pig kidney transplant passing away, concerns and ethical debates surrounding this groundbreaking medical procedure have resurfaced. But first, let's understand why pigs are often used for xenotransplantation. Their organ size, physiological metabolism, and immune system are remarkably similar to those of human beings. Furthermore, organs like the heart, liver, and lungs can potentially be used for xenotransplantation. In 2022, the first xenotransplantation of a genetically modified pig heart was done. Additionally, breeding pigs on farms is widespread and cost-effective, and the various pig breeds provide an opportunity to match harvested organs with the specific needs of human recipients. The process of xenotransplantation itself is intricate. If we talk about genetically engineering pigs as organ donors, then it involves utilizing gene editing technology like CRISPR-Cas9 to add and remove specific genes, creating genetically altered pig cells. These cells are then used to make pig embryos, which are implanted and allowed to develop into genetically engineered pigs raised in a controlled biosealed environment. Once the pigs reach adulthood, the desired organ such as kidney or heart is surgically removed and transplanted into the human recipient. However, even after receiving the genetically modified pig organ, the patient must continue taking immunosuppressant drugs to prevent their body from rejecting the new organ, as the genetic modifications aim to reduce but cannot eliminate the risk of rejection entirely. The potential benefits of xenotransplantation are undeniable. It provides an alternative supply of organs for those with life-threatening diseases and could help reduce the shortage of transplantable organs worldwide. However, concerns surrounding this procedure cannot be ignored. High organ rejection rates, the risk of infection from an animal organ, and animal welfare issues are among the significant challenges that need to be addressed. As the medical community continues to explore the frontiers of xenotransplantation, it is crucial to strike a balance between scientific advancement and ethical considerations.
In our next news, Venezuela may become the first nation to lose all its glaciers. According to the International Cryosphere Climate Initiative or ICCI, the Humboldt or La Corona, that is Venezuela's last standing glacier in the Andes, has shrunk to a size that no longer qualifies it as a glacier. But what exactly is the ICCI? It is a network of experts and researchers collaborating with governments and organizations to preserve the Earth's cryosphere, which includes snow and ice on land, ice caps, glaciers, permafrost, and sea ice. A glacier specifically is an accumulation of ice and snow that slowly flows over land. Looking at the broader issue, glaciers around the world are melting at an alarming rate, primarily due to global warming and the warming of ocean water. Both alpine glaciers, such as those in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region, and ice sheets like those in Antarctica have been impacted. The impacts of glacier melting are far-reaching and severe. One of the most significant consequences is sea level rise, as NASA estimates that if all glaciers and ice sheets were to melt, global sea levels would rise by more than 60 meters. This would lead to increased coastal erosion and elevated storm surges. Additionally, glacier melting is causing biodiversity loss, with species like walruses losing their habitat and polar bears spending more time on land, leading to higher rates of conflict between people and bears. Furthermore, the frequency of glacial lake outburst floods in regions like the Himalayas is expected to increase, posing a significant threat to local communities and infrastructure. Further, reduction in water availability in rivers like Ganga, economic activities like fishing and navigation will also be impacted. In response to these challenges, various steps have been taken at the global and national levels to protect glaciers. Globally, initiatives like the Hindu Kush Himalayan Monitoring and Assessment Program launched by the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development and UNESCO's World Glacier Monitoring Services are working to monitor and assess the impact of climate change on glaciers. Additionally, the United Nations has declared the year 2025 as the International Year of Glacier Preservation. In India, the National Mission for Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem, part of the National Action Plan on Climate Change, launched in the year 2008, is dedicated to protecting the Himalayan ecosystem. Moreover, a research station called Himansh was established in the Chandra Basin of Himachal Pradesh in the year 2016 to study and monitor glaciers in the region. In conclusion, the potential loss of all glaciers in Venezuela serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need to address climate change and its far-reaching consequences. Moving on to our next news, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has released the World Wildlife Crime Report 2024. The report's key findings reveal a grim reality, with rhinoceroses and cedars being the most impacted animal and plant species respectively during the period of 2015 to 2021. Alarmingly, the largest numbers of seizures reported during this period involved corals, followed by crocodilians and elephants. While there was a gradual increase in seizures of animal species from 2015 to 2019, a decline was observed in the year 2020 and 2021. In contrast, seizures of plant species saw a sharp increase in 2020 and 2021. But what exactly constitutes wildlife crime? It is defined as the taking, possession, trade, or movement, consumption of wild animals and plants or their derivatives in contravention of any international, regional, or national legislation. Transitioning to the factors driving this illegal trade, the demand for medicine, pets, bushmeat, and ornamental plants plays a significant role. Additionally, the huge profits earned by illegal traders by selling exotic animals, plants, and their parts, such as rhinoceros horns, serve as a lucrative incentive. Moreover, corruption undermines government restrictions of wildlife harvest, trade, and use, enabling wildlife crime to thrive. The impacts of wildlife crime are far-reaching and multifaceted. Environmentally, overexploitation and reduced population of wildlife species, as well as an increasing presence of invasive alien species, are major concerns. Alarmingly, out of all seized fauna, 40% were either threatened or near threatened on the IUCN Red List. Economically, wildlife crime is closely linked to money laundering and illegal cross-border financial flows. Socially, the risk of diseases transmission to people from live animals, plants, and wildlife meat, as well as the degradation of essential services like food, medicines, and energy, pose significant challenges. In response to this global crisis, various steps have been taken to combat wildlife crime. Globally, the UNODC's Global Programme for Combating Wildlife and Forest Crime, established in the year 2014, and the Wildlife Crime Initiative, a strategic partnership between Traffic and the World Wildlife Fund, are working to address this issue. In India, the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 provides for the forfeiture of any equipment, vehicle, or weapon used for committing wildlife offences. Additionally, the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau was established under the Ministry of Environment and Forest to combat organized wildlife crime. In conclusion, the World Wildlife Crime Report 2024 serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need for concerted efforts to address the illegal trade of wildlife and its far-reaching consequences. The place in news for today is Croatia with its capital, Zagreb. It is in news recently as its incumbent Croatian Prime Minister has secured office for the third consecutive time. Talking about its political features, it is located in the southeastern Europe and is a part of the Balkan Peninsula. It is bounded by Hungary and Slovenia to its north, Serbia to its east, Bosnia and Herzegovina both towards its south and east, and lastly the Adriatic Sea to its west. Talking about its geographical features, its major mountain range is the Dinaric Alps, known for its karst, that is the limestone topography. Its highest point is Dinara, and its major rivers are Sava and Drava.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. State Bank of India has become the first trade-cum-clearing member at India International Bullion Exchange. IIBX was established at GIFT International Financial Services Centre, Gandhinagar, Gujarat in 2022. It is regulated by IFSC Authority. The Ministry of Labour and Employment has boarded the PM Gati Shakti portal to identify and bridge gaps in social security coverage. PM Gati Shakti, also known as National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity, launched in 2021. It is a digital platform to bring 16 ministries, including railways and roadways, together. Global average concentration of carbon dioxide was 4.7 parts per million in March 2024, higher than March 2023, signifying a large spike in the Keeling curve. Keeling curve is the record of atmospheric CO2 from MLO since 1958. Leopard cat is sighted in Maharashtra's Pench Tiger Reserve for the first time. Leopard cat is a forest-dwelling cat belonging to the family of Felidae, noted for its leopard-like coloring. It is mainly found across India, Southeast Asia and nearby islands. The disappearance of samal trees from southern Rajasthan is creating adverse effects on the forests and people. Samal trees are large deciduous trees known for their crimson red flowers. Ayurvedic medicines can also be prepared from every part of this tree. China is planning to construct a high-energy photon source. This will put China among the few countries that have fourth-generation synchrotron light sources. Currently, around 70 synchrotrons are scattered across the world, but only a few countries have fourth-generation synchrotrons such as Sweden, Brazil and France. NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope aims to explore everything from outer solar system to the edge of the observable universe. This telescope's objective is to focus on dark energy and dark matter, exoplanets, and a wide range of infrared astrophysics and planetary science topics. The night sky over Hanle village in Ladakh was illuminated by northern lights as an intense solar storm hit the Earth. Aurora or multicolored lights appear in upper atmosphere over the polar regions and are visible from locations in the middle and higher latitudes. Before we wrap up today's bulletin, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this edition of News Today. For the solutions to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.